Hey everybody, thanks for watching. And just a quick update on Merkaba Academy. The new site and the new app will launch on Christmas Day. There will be two separate apps for iOS. You will have Merkaba Academy and Merkaba Academy Pro app. And the Pro app will be for entrepreneurs and people who are investors in stocks. This app will have a lot of different options for you guys, for you to grow your business and also invest. You will get a lot of stock tips, and I will definitely guide you guys along with some other things to guide you guys to help you make the right decisions in what stocks you should invest in, why you should invest in them, and also give you more information to what Yahoo gives you guys. We talked about Yahoo Finance in the video. So definitely stay tuned. Christmas Day, it will launch. I will launch a video on that day, on Christmas Day, as well as the new site, Merkaba Academy site. The entire new site will be up. The new apps will launch. And it's going to be great. I'm so glad and excited to finally get this stuff done. We got everything pushed through, but we're going to launch on Christmas Day, and it's going to be an amazing new site, and the app is going to be great. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a person who is investing, not just in stocks, but in some other things, as you will see when it comes, and I'll get into all that stuff around that time, you will see the many options that you will have that will help you out. Things that I have personally used and still use that will help you grow your company and help you really grow stock wise. So we're going to get into some new stuff in Stock Market 3, which is coming soon, and really touch on how, we're going to take this information we talked about, take those stocks we talk about, and how to apply it to the things that the app is going to offer. So it's going to be great. You guys are going to love this. And apologies for how long it took, but it's worth the time. It's going to be worth the wait. And it's so much, especially if you're an entrepreneur. There's so much information I want to give you guys that you have no clue about. Grant money, stuff you qualify for if you have your LLC and your business license. That's a lot of you guys who probably could have got PUA money for your business. The PPP loans and stuff like that. It's a lot of little things that you don't understand and you can get to help you with your business. And they're not going to tell you this stuff. So we're going to get into all that because you're entitled to a lot of money by you having your, business license and LLC. And there's a lot of grants out there depending on the type of business you have. It's going to really help you grow your business. Like I have mostly online companies and I've received just so much over the years in doing what I do. So stay tuned for that. It's a lot. So now, because of this, I know you guys have been asking and been on my top about it. A lot of you guys wanted to take advantage of the Never Pay Again, the membership for Merkaba Academy. So I will allow, because we have time now, 200 more people. That's it. 200 more people. It'll be first come, first serve. It's open right now, available right now for you to take advantage of Never Pay Again membership and Merkaba Academy and Merkaba Academy Pro. If you already have membership, you will automatically have Merkaba Academy Pro. Merkaba Academy Pro, the app will cost money, but if you are a lifetime member or Never Pay Again member, you won't have to pay. You'll get an email about it and you'll be able to download the app for free. It's only going to be like $2.99 anyway. But for pro members, if you're a business owner or what have you, it's going to be $3 if you're not a member. So, but you want to have the Merkaba Academy, Never Pay Again membership to have access to all those options. All this stuff is going to make sense soon. That's why it took so long, because it's tedious. But definitely take advantage. For the people who ask, if you want to take advantage of the Never Pay Again membership, it's available right now. There are different payment options. Also, if you are one of the people who bought the digital downloads that I just offered, the Merkaba catalog, you will not have to pay for a price. You will see on the website, it's a separate price for you guys. So you won't have to pay for a price if you guys want to take advantage, because it comes with those downloads. So I don't want you to have to pay for them again and you already got them. So it's a separate price. Please, if you did not buy it, do not click that link for the lower price, because what's going to happen is you're not going to get anything and it's going to be 2 weeks before you get a refund. So don't do it to yourself. Just pay for, the one you're supposed to pay for. But take advantage of this. Also, for the people who want to get the Merkaba catalog, it's available for this week. Again, I kept it up for a minute, trying to help y'all out. Take advantage. It's there. It's still up there right now. Take advantage before it's gone, because it's going to be gone. As I said, there's a lot coming for everybody who takes advantage of the Never Pay Again. There are 2, maybe 3 new videos coming this week. So Stock Market 3 will be coming. So that's going to be $89. So there you go. You get it for free when you sign up anyway. Even if you get the Never Pay Again membership, you'll get that, as well as the new video that's coming on the law of attraction that I have coming up. A lot of people asking about it. It's a really good video. You're going to want to see it. But I tie in so much of what we talked about in the Soul Purpose and a couple of videos in this law of attraction video. I'm trying to speed this up. Excuse me for speaking fast. But it's late. But we're going to get into this video. But I want you guys to really take advantage of this. Like, trust me, you're not going to want to be left behind when this thing launches. If you are serious about business and stock investing, if you're looking to really get out of the rat race and grow, this is how you're going to do it. So I showed you guys in stock market how I've done it, how I'm living, and you can get there too. But I have only recently come into the information about how much we get, how much we qualify for, and things that we can get as business owners, and how we get on these politicians a lot, but what they didn't tell you is there was so much money allocated for minority business owners, and they know that we're not smart enough to take advantage of this stuff. They know we're not going to know. That's why, with the whole PUA scam that was happening over the summer, a lot of people had no clue. All you had to do was basically sign up on your own, but they were so lost, and they paying people $1,000 to basically sign up for them, and they could have just done it on their own. The problem was answering the questions, and this was a problem. And people don't understand that it's so many things like this that you qualify for, and it's money that's just out there for you to grow your business and for you to really get off the ground. When I opened my recording studio in Philly, it was all grant money. There's so much you qualify for. So we're going to get into all this. And the reason why I'm saving it for the app is because, like I said, I want serious people only. So if you are a Never Pay Again member, you'll get all that. Yeah, take advantage of everything, people. Like, get on this stuff. It's going to stop. It's not going to last forever. I'm trying to work in as many people as possible. Y'all be complaining and bitching about prices, and when I lower it, nobody takes advantage. Take advantage to everybody who has. I appreciate you guys. You made a smart move. So now I want to get into this video. And like I said, been getting into a lot of the biblical information, and a lot of you guys been contacting me about it. And I recently, got into, I'm always getting into base with people. I do so to educate people, but at the same time, it's good to get this information out and to put it in people's head about what they think about their religion. So a lot of the things you will run into, and a lot of people, we talked about this, so it's weird that I ran into it, is when we're talking about the Jews, as I talked about with no Jews existing before the 4th century BCE, there's absolutely no proof. And then you'll have people that pop out of nowhere. Well, wait a minute. What about this stela or this stela? Or what about the Jehoash or Jehoiachin stela, or the reliefs and so on and so forth, or the Tel Dan stela and all this? Is always an artifact. It's always a shard or pottery or a fragment of a manuscript to where, they want to put these words in there. And one of the things you got to realize is, remember, when they made the Bible, they took ancient things and put it in the Bible. So case in point, if you go to Mesopotamia, or if you go to, the Syrian Empire, and where the Jews were supposed to have been traveling to and so on and so forth, when the Greeks was running around doing the real conquest. And then, supposedly just so happens that the Jews were being captive in Babylonia. So, bullshit. But all they had to do was they already knew about these stelas. They already had these artifacts, and they understood the names that was already on there, and they put these names in the Bible. That happened in a lot of cases. You got to understand that. So they know later on, even if they just modified a word or added something to an inscription and a carving on the stela, that they'll be able to change it or be able to make it say something that it doesn't say. And this is what they did. There's a lot of unfinished steles out there. There's a lot of carvings out there that are unfinished. All you have to do is go and take this square shaped carving. I've seen a lot of them in the museums I've been to, and just go ahead. Anybody can just take a chisel and go ahead and chisel in whatever they want to chisel in, and then present it as information. And then if everybody's in on it, nobody's the wiser. So this is what has been happening. So you have to understand, we don't have any agreed upon proof, 100% proof that Jews existed before the 4th century BCE. Now, again, you're going to have people bring up these so-called artifacts, and what they don't understand, because they're not looking critically at their information, they don't understand that many of these have already been proven to be forgeries. None of them, not one. There is not one Jewish artifact that predates the 4th century BCE that has been proven 100% to be true. Every single one of them is suspect. Plain and simple. There isn't one. So you have to think about that. So we have in the case with the Jehoash tablets, and it's already on record that they have been forging many tablets. And then a lot of these researchers will tell you there's a lot of tablets. They won't say which ones, but there's a lot of artifacts that's in museums and in private hands that are complete forgeries. So in the case of the Jehoash tablets, you have a Golan. So Golan, and it's not just him, it's many other archaeologists and researchers out there who's been faking this stuff. But they basically found out that he was in possession of a forged tablet that supposedly had the inscription of Jehoash. So they put out a search warrant for his house. They went in there and they found pictures of him next to the tablet. They didn't find the exact tablet yet, but they found pictures of him next to the tablet. And they found other tools and stuff like that that led them to believe that they was, making forgeries. So he immediately took a deal to where he would have immunity if he testified. Now, unbeknownst to him, they had already found his storage locker where, when they got in there, they found the tablets, they found a whole bunch of other artifacts, and they found all the tools and the proof that they were forging these artifacts. This is all public. You can go look it up. And one of the people who they got in connection with the whole thing already admitted to them forging the Jehoash tablet. So it's already admitted that it's forgery. He came clean. The stuff is forgery. The problem is, along the way, somehow the, investigation, they messed up the evidence or something like that. Or in court, for some reason, they said they couldn't prove 100% that he forged, the tablet. So they set a commission up and some scientists and put them together to go ahead and basically go through the artifact to see if it was real. And they determined, the Israel Antiquities Authority determined that it's a modern day forgery. So not just that, it's 18 cases, I think they found that they were charged with forgery, him and some other researchers. It was errors in spelling and everything that was indicative of, forgery by somebody who wasn't 100% sure what they was doing. But it was proof, and they found lots of proof, as you can see here, that they were faking these steles. And, I showed you guys, as I keep saying, this stuff goes back to the Greeks. Now I'm going to read here. It says, in 2002, an ancient limestone box called the James Ossuary was trumpeted on the world's front pages as the first material evidence of the existence of Jesus Christ. Today, it is exhibit number 1 in a forgery trial involving millions of dollars worth of high-end biblical era relics, some of which literally rewrote Near Eastern history and which could lead to the incarceration of some very wealthy men and embarrass major international institutions, including the British Museum and Sotheby's. So like I said, this stuff has been going on for a long time. They're not going to show you this on your local news. If you follow this stuff, you've seen this already. You understand what's going on. These are forgeries. They've been doing this for a long time. Things that are in museums are forgeries. Set in Israel, with its 30,000 archaeological digs cramming with biblical era artifacts and full of colorful characters, scholars, evangelicals, detectives, and millionaire collectors, Unholy Business tells the incredible story of what the Israel authorities have called the fraud of the century. It takes readers into the murky world of Holy Land relic dealing, from the back alleys of Jerusalem's Old City to New York's Fifth Avenue, and reveals biblical archaeology as it is pulled apart by religious believers on one side and scientists on the other. Again, this stuff has been going on for years. These are forgeries. None of these relics that you will ever see that's talking about Jews existing before the 4th century BCE, and I don't think they existed that long, to be honest, Forgeries, fakes, phonies, none of them are agreed upon 100%. So the only people we could find besides the ancient Egyptians who was making stelas back then was the Greeks. And I showed you guys when I was in the Cairo Museum, the Greek statues, the stelas that they made, and it's clear as day, and of course the Assyrians had stelas, the Babylonians and the Assyrians had stelas as well. But it's clear as day what happened, that the Greeks were faking this stuff. And they was obviously trying to push off Judaism, the Hebrews, as them being established before the 4th century. So when I did the video on this in Greek Mythology 3, when we got into the whole thing with Hecataeus and Diodorus Siculus, Hecataeus is who everybody goes back to. Well, Diodorus Siculus, basically paraphrasing Hecataeus or giving us his information. That doesn't stop with anybody. That's every single scholar and researcher goes back to that point because that's the beginning. If you're going to try to go to the beginning of where all the information began and started from, you're going to run into Diodorus, basically quoting Hecataeus as I broke all that down. There's nobody else. So the first person who is supposedly mentioning the Jews, and understand that they only use Hecataeus because of how old he is. We don't even know if Hecataeus existed. They're using him to say, and this is what they're trying to push if you understand how this thing is working. They're just using him, because I didn't really make this clear in the video. They're using him as a way of saying they must have existed because he knew about them. Everybody understands you're not going to find any proof. But how you get around it? You just use a person that existed during the time you're trying to put them in there and say, well, he was researching them. You understand what I'm saying? So since this man was born, in the 6th century, and, he's doing his researches in, 500 BCE, and he's mentioning Jews, then obviously the Jews must have had existed during this time. Understand? But we can't prove that. And this is what Diodorus was doing the research on. Like, I'm just, I'm quoting this guy, I'm paraphrasing him. I don't believe him because there's no proof. And even if you want to believe him, he's basically saying, well, I never seen any Jews. It still hurt the story. I got the story about the Jews from the Egyptians, which none of that makes sense. It don't fit with everything else. So understand, when Diodorus is putting out this information, he's basically saying, yo, I can't find nothing on these people evil. This is the oldest information that we get. And even he's saying that, I never spoke to any Jews and he met any Jews. It's suspect. But the fact that this dude existed, in the 6th century, then they could say, well, if he was talking about him in the 6th century, then obviously they must have existed before the 4th century BCE. So understand that. It's all bullshit. The fact is this. There's no proof. A shard, a stela, a rock. None of that is indicative of any other civilization we find across the planet that has concrete proof of the existence of their people. So we go into ancient China, ancient Africa, ancient America, what have you, we're going to find the same situation. We're going to find mass graves. We're going to find bodies. We're going to find civilizations in ruins. We're going to find pottery. We're going to find writings. We're going to find other civilizations and people who spoke about those civilizations. There's 100% proof that these people existed, and there's no doubt. Now, do scholars and researchers agree on everything about the ancient Egyptians? No. But that usually has to do with dating and dynasty. Plain and simple. Either, well, we don't know what dynasty this was. We don't agree on it. We don't know what date this was. We don't agree on it. But there's never a question that it belongs to the ancient Egyptians or the ancient Greeks. We know these people existed during this time. The Jews is the only civilization we can't say that about. Even if you go back to civilizations that disappeared, as people who spoke about it. We know the Nook completely just disappeared, but other civilizations spoke about them. We know about the Mayans or the Olmeca, what have you, disappeared. Other civilizations spoke about them. We find bodies, well, in some cases, but we find so many artifacts that is, nonstop, no doubt. So we don't find a shard, or we don't find a rock, or we don't find a suspect inscription. Understand when these people talk about the Tel Dan Stela, which you can read right here, why it's suspect. And they don't agree on the writing. They don't agree on the carving. It's the same thing with the Marian Patah Stelae, which, as you can see here, I've seen them all. I've spoken to the archaeologists. I've spoken to researchers. I've spoken to even the Arab curators or what have you. And as I showed you guys in the one photo right here, where he's showing me where they came in and took the darkness, the skin, off of the Egyptians and many of the temples. So I'm talking to these people and they're telling me they didn't want to be on camera saying what they was telling me, but I've done the research. I've been there. You don't have to believe me. Don't care. But I've talked to these guys and they will tell you straight up, the Greeks came in there and changed shit. He told me that in almost every single tomb you go into, the skin on the Egyptians was pitch black. And we still find that today. And they diluted it. You know, you see the pictures. They basically took it from complete blackness and made it like brown, or try to make it just like the color of the stone. All of this is to try to give validity to the Arabs being there instead of it, being black. Because if it's black, there's only one people it could be. Now you still find some. This is why they take so long to basically announce a new finding when they find a new tomb. They take a while because they got to go in there and clean shit up. And this is what they've been doing. And he told me this in confidence. So it's one of the things that we already know. But you have to understand, there's no proof. You're not going to find any. There's nothing we're going to find that's going to prove that these people existed. It's all suspect. Everything points to the Greeks. So in my videos, when I'm talking about this is what I mean. People didn't exist. So you had the Greeks, give us the Septuagint in Greek. We don't have one in Hebrew that predates the Septuagint Greek. New Testament written in Greek. It's just that simple. So everything is pointing to them. And you have people who can't fathom this, but it's just clear as day. There's no other people who existed around this time that could fit the Jews, but the Greeks. If you know Greek history and you read the Old Testament, there's only one people that follow that scenario. And I gave you guys the example with Alexander and Tyre or Tyrus, when the Bible was talking about it with Nebuchadnezzar. They give you a whole different story, but the story is similar to what happened in real life with Alexander and the Causeway. The Causeway is still there, still named after Alexander. Clearly, that's where they got the stories. Now, who are we talking about here? The Greeks. So if we have a Greek history, a real Greek historical thing that happened that we can prove, and then we find it in the Bible basically disguised as a different story in the same place, it's common sense. Who gave you the story? And as I've shown you guys in the video, this is Ancient History Volume 1, what I'm talking about. When you go there, you still see the Egyptian inscriptions. And as I told you guys, the land, as you know, that we call Israel today was once part of the Egyptian Empire. We were there. So you have to understand real history, real antiquity, and then really look. These people are not being critical. A shard, a stone, or what have you is no proof of the existence of an entire people that, seemingly, basically didn't exist during the time they say, the Bible says they existed. And conveniently, when we have proof that the Greeks are running around conquering and, real history, they just so happen to be captive in, Babylonia, what have you. But there's no proof of that. There's no proof. It's just crazy. Everything has been set up to fit what they're lacking, as far as them being where they're supposed to be in time, and they're not there. And not just that, we don't find anything. We don't find nothing. The little stuff we do find is never agreed upon. So understand this. When you are debating with these people and talking with these people, they're going to give you the rundown of this stuff. Oh, of course they existed. We have this, and none of it is proven. None of it. Not one thing. The Shroud of Turin, the Jesus is bullshit. It's not proven. The tomb of Jesus, not proven. And that's even worse if you don't want to prove that. If it's a tomb of Jesus, then he ain't no, risen savior or what have you. None of that stuff never happened. And it's so much that people really look to thinking that it's real. People still think that they found Noah's Ark. They didn't find Noah's Ark that's proven to be false. Noah's Ark found in Turkey. They already came forth and said that it was a hoax. One of the chariot wheels from the Pharaoh when they had the Red Sea fall on them. It's supposed to have been in the Red Sea. That's false. There's so much that's already been proven false, but people are not looking for the truth. They want the fairy tale story, and it's not there. So again, this stuff is never been proven to be true. You have absolutely no proof that these people existed before the 4th century BCE. There's nothing. I've been looking for over 20 years nonstop. I've done all the research. I've been to these places in the Bible, basically every country in the Bible I've been to. There's nothing. When you go to Golgotha, it's a fucking tourist attraction. This is why they don't want you to record there or take pictures there when you're there, for those people who've been there. They don't want you to record shit. It's a joke. Like, come on. And it's nothing. There's nothing. This is why the Bible requires faith and belief. There's no proof. There's people out there telling you that Jesus is proven to exist and that the Bible has been proven and that we have historical evidence beyond a reason. We don't. We don't have nothing that's been concrete proven, period. And then when you find stuff, what you're going to find is it's not proven. And you're going to have scholars who think it's real and scholars who think it's fake. Nobody is ever in agreement on it. So again, that means it's not proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. And this is the case. Go to the Cairo Museum, you go to the British Museum, it's the same shit, plain and simple. So, you got to look for these things and, figure out the truth for yourself, but make sure that you are going through and doing your research and looking before you just come out of nowhere and say that something is real when it's not. So you're going to run into this debating with these people or doing your research, and some of them are going to stump you because you're not going to find 100% concrete information about a lot of these stones. But make sure when you're doing your research, you look in the books section. If you're a person that's using Google, you got to really know how to use Google when you're doing your research. Make sure you click on the books. Even if you type in a word, like a keyword, click on books, and it'll usually pop up a book that this stuff is mentioned in, and just try to find the for and against. Some of them will have evidence, and then they'll have what, people are refuting it or what have you in a lot of books. But you're going to find information if you really want to and if you're looking. And in many cases, like I said, you don't even have to waste your time on none of this. It's not proven. And no stele or what have you is going to be concrete proof of the existence of these people, nor is it going to prove that the Bible is true. It's just, that simple. So thank you guys for listening to me ramble on this for a while, but appreciate you guys watching. Again, make sure you guys take advantage of these sales and get on it and everything. We have new videos coming this week. I appreciate you guys for getting on it. So again, this is going to launch on Christmas Day. A video is going to launch on Christmas Day. We're going to get into the site and everything like that, get into the apps, and really, I want to try to get as many, it's because it's going to be a lot of information. I don't want to overwhelm business owners, but you'll see how the section is structured for your business and how information will just basically be fed to you. You'll get alerts, so when you do get the app, make sure you turn on a notification, because there could be, the difference between making money fast or losing out. But you'll get alerts that's unique to your business and unique to, what you're investing in. You'll see what I'm talking about. And you have to make sure you take advantage of these things. I'm trying to put as much in as I can, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys. If you are serious about business, make sure you get your business license, get your LLC out the way. If you don't have money, this is another thing I got to put this out there. I should have said this at the beginning of the video. But if you made it to the end, then lucky for you. But you probably already know this. If you don't have money, if you broke and you're just trying to start a business, if you have a really good idea, if this is something you really want to do, make sure you write out your business plan. You're going to need that. Same thing if you're trying to get grant money. You're going to need your business plan and you're going to need a grant proposal. Now, every funding source or company that's providing grants they have different ways they want their grant proposal. But if you do your grant proposal right, there's ways to tweak it to where it works. Like I said, I got many grants. I get grants all the time. I don't even like, because I know how to do them. But I'm going to go through this and help you guys out with that. But there's a way when you do your grant proposal that, it's going to be on your computer. You just go in and tweak things. They're really anal about prices, when you run it down your prices because they're going to want cost for everything. They want everything. It's got to be meticulous. I don't think they go through all that, but they still want it, and you don't want to be left hanging. But start getting on this stuff now, because I'm gonna hit you guys with a lot of information. There will be videos, so it'll be easier. But if you're trying to start a business, or if you're in a business right now and you're stuck, you don't know where to go, what have you, this is what you want to do. You want to make sure you have that business plan ready, get the legal stuff out the way, go online and look up grant proposals. I'm going to have some examples on the site. And, depending on what you're trying to do, it's a lot you qualify for. So again, we'll get into all this. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Thanks to everybody who's been supporting and everything like that. Again, watch your finances, people. Seriously, I have a lot of people, run into PayPal asking for their money back from, the split pay. There's a lot of people who made the first payment on the split pay, didn't make the second payment, and they're trying to, people be scamming me. I'm telling you, it's crazy what I got to go through. People who downloaded the Merkaba catalog trying to ask for their money back. It's crazy. So if you broke, if you can't afford none of it, don't try it, because don't run to PayPal trying to get your money back, 2 months later. I mean, it's just crazy. Also, if you have any issue, don't go to PayPal at all. Send me an email. If you don't get me on email, go to my Instagram, go in the comment section and just, hey, check your inbox, something. Don't go to PayPal because you just go and hold yourself up for a couple weeks. Plain and simple. If it's a problem, make sure you just inbox me, therealmerkaba@gmail.com, or inbox me on my IG on Instagram or what have you. I always check my Instagram on it every single day. So do that. Don't run to PayPal. It's just going to be a waste of time. But thanks for taking time to watch. See you guys next video.